Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, and joining me, Glenn, aka BDG Reviews. Tonight we're representing both Bodybags and Bay of Blood, of course. Fresh off our Friday 5 commentary, tonight we'll be looking at Fede Alvarez's 2013 remake of The Evil Dead. The original, of course, coming from 1981. So buckle up, boneheads, and let's talk some Evil Dead and its 70,000 gallons of blood. All right, I got my controller in my hand. All right, I should be on 0.
Okay, so
Now, is this going to still bring up the TriStar?
Yeah, it'll bring up the TriStar, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so for anyone listening, we're now at 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and we're going to try this again. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
TriStar?
Yep.
Nice. All right. Look at that. Look at that.
And that looks so good in black and white.
And I think it even looks better with the warm. I don't know the difference between the warm and the cold. It reminds me, like I said, of that the Grindhouse release of the Beyond. I love the opening of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing. This is just kind of like I don't want to say like a game changer, but it makes you want to go back and watch other movies in black and white just to see if you'd prefer them. I wonder about Alien in black and white.
Yeah, I'm rethinking a few movies now that I see this adjustment with the difference between warm and cool, and here we go. Our prologue opens up and she's in the woods.
Yep. I mean, it works, but I don't know. My main thing with it is I kind of think if all this prologue had happened like it did, wouldn't those people have then taken the book with them when they left and taken all the dead cats and everything? And
well, I've thought about that, and I don't know. It's like if that cabin was like a staging point for these types of things. But your point, well taken. Number one, whose cabin is this that they even utilize this thing? And number two, if this book is that important,
why
go
leave
through all
it
the trouble of barbed wiring it up and then they just leave it for someone to come along and start messing with this thing.
Yeah.
I loved how the woods looked, just with.
Yeah.
Here we go in the cellar now.
Yep.
Yeah, and without any backstory to this, and not knowing if it's even connected with our lore and mythology of the cabin.
Yeah.
We're never even told who these people are, I don't think.
No, and I mean, honestly, you never see them again after the fact this takes place. This is something I do like, though. I like the idea that the book gives multiple ways on how to get rid of the demon.
I'm digging how it looks, man. Big time.
It looks really good in black and white.
See, this family looks like, man, it looks like they could be in a Wrong Turn movie.
Exactly. I was just thinking that. That looks totally like, the cousin of, like Three Fingers or something. So, yeah, I want to know this story. I would like to hear, like, how did these people come in contact with these, like, hill people that it looks like?
Well, how did she even become possessed to begin with?
Yeah.
I mean, is this even connected to the mythology that we're accustomed to, or is this,
maybe this is the start of it. maybe he came to these people because his daughter was possessed. And the reason the evil is now here in the cabin and everything
Well, you
is
see what I
because
miss
of
though?
this.
I miss with the other films, well, at least the other two films. You have the reel-to-reel recording
Yeah,
that they tap into the work of the professor and archaeology and the uncovering of the Necronomicon,
yeah,
the Book of the Dead, and that's when you consider those things, this prologue just seems so misplaced. I don't know. It's
yeah,
more like this part right here. It's like more sensationalism than anything. I mean, I
yeah,
get it. Like right now, we're supposed to be like, "Holy freaking crap, what's coming?"
yeah,
And instead, I'm like, "What the freaking crap is that?
yeah.
Why? Why?"
I got to admit, I really like this shot.
It is. It is an amazing,
Like,
amazing.
like the upside down. Just I don't know. It's
It's that.
almost like it
It's
has that
that
same feel
inverted.
as the Shining.
Yeah, I was gonna say the inverted shining shot.
Yeah, and yeah, I wonder whether if this movie had just started when it said Evil Dead.
Yeah, I often imagine what this movie would be like without that prologue at all.
Yeah, it might make a difference. I mean, well, because I mean they bring up that this was like their like parents' cabin or something, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so who were those people in relation to these people? Were they anything or were they just there?
Yeah, did they just decide to, well, hey, there's this cabin. We haven't seen anybody out there in forever. Let's go use that place.
Yeah, man, I'm really digging this black and white.
Oh, I am too, big time. For you guys out there listening, again, we just turned the color off our TVs. We've
Yep.
got the TV. If you got a new 4K TV, whatever, smart TV, we've got it on warm setting, and the tint level is. I mean, this is just looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I,
it does. I mean,
I
this would
can't
have
wait.
been awesome in the theater in black and white.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how a lot of these, if a lot of these practical effects begin to shine via
Yeah.
the. Um,
Well, that's the thing. Black and white can take away a lot of the issues
well,
with
it does in the 2011
effects.
thing.
Yeah,
If you watch that in black and white, that might be the next thing I watch with this warm color on with the black and white.
yeah. Will makes a good point about this, though, and the fact that
Oh
you
no,
know,
that's beautiful.
why like a trained nurse would be like, we're gonna take her to this cabin and lock her in like a basement with weapons.
Well, and you know what? That leads right into my second major criticism of this film is the whole drug metaphor. I think is so misplaced.
Yeah, I mean, I get it as I get the idea as to why it's here. Almost like to you know give a reason for it for them to be there. I get that, but it works in one part. It works in that you know anything she says, which like normally would have been you would say like, yeah, something's not right there. That's like demonic or whatever. In this, it can sort of be put down as withdrawal.
Yeah, I mean,
I get that. I don't know. I wonder whether it would have been better if you'd had a character who was like a professional like interventionalist or something. And like this was going down like under the eyes of like an actual professional. Other than just, you know, random girl who happens to be a bit of a nurse.
yeah, and that's see, that's one of the things I love about the first two Evil Dead films is the Lovecraftian nature about those films.
Yeah.
The other side that's trying to push its way in.
Yeah.
And when you cloud that with a metaphor involving drug abuse and withdrawal, and um, it just seems to take away from this the original idea of just something from the other side that's trying to break in
Yeah.
without there being a metaphor of these sorts. I mean, you could have done without that too, and you could have had these kids or today's kinds of kids who, generally don't look at anything supernatural as having any real basis in reality, and
Yeah.
they could play off most of what starts to happen by just the fact that seriously, really,
Yeah.
in,
That
in
could definitely work.
you don't need necessarily. I think too often the drug metaphor really does hurt and take away, and I don't know, and I don't know. That's I don't have that many criticisms really of this movie. I'm really uh, liking the movie. I think it helps that I did see it in the theater,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
for sure.
I don't know if I told you, but my daughter and I, it was one of the last movies we saw together
Mhm.
before she left to go back home to New York. And but anyways, we caught it literally on a Sunday. It was the last day it was playing. It was the last show. It was in the
Oh.
last theater. Literally, I mean, it was the last little corner of you weren't going to see it again after that time slot. It was done.
That's cool.
And so it was definitely fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this actually on opening day.
Really?
The very first showing. And then I went back about like 3 days later and saw it again.
So what was your take on the second time?
I loved it just as much.
See, I wasn't afforded that opportunity because
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like I was avoiding this movie. I really didn't I mean, you see a tagline like the most terrifying experience you'll ever have or endure, whatever that was. I get kind of pushed off whenever I see something like, okay, really, seriously.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't know. As we got closer to its time in the theater running out, I started looking to see where it was at, and I guess I started to feel a bit uneasy of the idea of not having caught it. So I was very
Yeah.
fortunate and lucky to catch it on literally its last showing in its
Yeah.
last theater on its last day.
That's damn cool.
And there wasn't many of us in that theater either. It was just a small handful.
That's the good thing about going to see a movie like this at that point in time. You know, it's one of
Oh,
the this is one of those movies. I mean, it was fun seeing it with a big audience, but honestly, it can be a little bit annoying when you get like everyone talking over the movie and everything.
now
Uh,
see that.
it, it's kind of funny we say that like while we're you know watching recording a commentary over it.
That guy, Eric, man,
Yeah.
right there. He's got my vote being worst character in this whole movie.
Well, the thing with him, let's be 100% honest. Everything's his fault.
But it's like how that unfolds. It's so I don't know. Maybe the right words will come to me as the movie unfolds, but it just I never buy into it. I never buy his sort of want wantonness to stumble into this book and then
Yeah.
well into it suddenly has this this sense of clarity and I think this all might be my fault. Really seriously.
Yeah. And I mean, I find it funny that he just happens to be like a scholar of like ancient languages or something that he can like translate the book and stuff.
And yet
It
he has no idea what he's unleashing.
No, I mean that's one thing, like the recording makes more sense just from a logical point of view,
And it's
that
fun too, man. I mean,
oh yeah.
when you hear that professor man start talking about his wife Henrietta and just everything that's happening, and they're just listening like they don't know what to do
No.
except just let it go. And then he starts invoking those words, and the words alone have the effect of unleashing even beyond those characters. Those characters really didn't unleash it. It was their inadvertent of finding this recording and out of curiosity listening to it, and then unfortunately letting it roll too long.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's just kind of like the thing. I mean it's brought up in Cabin in the Woods, you know, and the fact that like if these people just didn't do anything, like everyone would be fine.
See, that's here we go.
Like
How
here,
is it? Go ahead.
if they didn't go down into this basement, I mean, seeing that would kind of make you want to, like, big smear of blood and thing going into the basement. Though then again, most normal people at this point would be like, yeah, we're gonna call the police now.
Yeah, I think so. Generally speaking, although I do think having raised the issue of Lovecraft already, the thing that makes Lovecraft beautiful is he wrote in a day when curiosity was still taken as a genuine, um,
Reason to do something.
yeah, and it was
Yeah.
natural for man to be curious about the unknown. Even walking into an open crypt, I mean, it just would have been taken as, well, let's go see what's down there. Now it's so cliche ridden, you immediately get repelled by the notion because you know something's bad down there.
Yeah. I tell you what, that's a beautiful shot right there. And in
Yeah,
black and white, it
I'm
looks
telling you.
phenomenal.
And did you notice a minute or so ago when he was in the sitting in the doorway, the
Mm.
dark shadow?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, I think so. I think we're in for a real treat here soon when things really start rolling.
Yeah.
And see, here's the other thing: all these dead cats hanging up and everything. I mean,
Here's what I want to know: where the hell did they get all them cats?
yeah, that's kind of spooky.
I got to admit though, the effects for the dead cats,
This
it,
looks way better, man. I'm sorry.
it does. It looks really good. The effects for the dead cats are quite. They look quite realistic.
But they look even more realistic. Here, it's you know what I think about? I think about when Rob Bottin talked endlessly about how well lighting was an issue with him and his effects, but also the more gel
Mm,
would go on the effect. He wanted to hide, the mistakes that were so evident to him.
yeah,
But same can be applied when you turn your you turn your color off, you turn the tint down, whatever, and you kind of it's you're allowing certain things to just, I think, really do look better.
yeah. And I mean, oh wow. I mean, look at that. Like, oh man, look at that meat. I don't know. There's something about black and white that just makes I'd be interested to take like kind of like something like Battlefield Earth, something that's just genuinely horrible, and watch it in black and white and see if it could class it up a bit. Because there's just something inherently classy about black and white film.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed of late or not, who seems to be on this kick, and rightfully so, is Jerry Herring of Kill the Cast.
Oh yeah?
He's been talking about just going back and revisiting movies that are in black and white and seeing them, and
Oh
just
yeah.
being amazed by it. And I think about, when Darabont's black and white cut of The Mist and
Mm,
George Miller's cut of black and white cut of Fury Road.
yeah, I still have to see that.
Beautiful, man. But the difference between that, of course, and what we've done is you've got somebody actually with a palette of blacks and whites and silvers and grays that are literally repainting
Yeah,
their vision, where we've just sort of, you know,
strip the color out.
yeah. But allowing it to be on a warm setting versus cool setting, I think it does change the aesthetically. It changes the.
I mean, look, it says right there, leave this book
See,
alone.
but in a book like this, why? I mean, that begs the question: who wrote in there, "Leave this book alone"? Somebody a year ago that stumbled across it and then decided to wire up the book because they found it laying wide open.
Yeah, I mean, I would have assumed that the I don't know if you could call them gypsies or whatever they are. I I would have assumed that this was their book, and I would have assumed they would have taken it with them. And of course, he just man,
See that? Yeah, I have a hard time buying into this. I would much rather have my reel to reel,
yeah,
some archaeologist, warning people. My God, what have I done?
yeah. I just love that part, like in the original where it's like, I couldn't bring myself to dismember her body, so I buried her. I buried her in the basement. It's like, it's just an awesome scene. I've noticed, I'm seeing the rain more in black and white than I am in when it's in color. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, how does not like everyone recognize that smell the minute they walk into that cabin?
Yeah, dead things have a very distinct odor. So and the funny thing is here, the brother is the only one who is actually being smart. If he had actually taken her away right now, everything would have been fine. I mean, yeah, she might have OD'd later, but
Well,
you wouldn't have nearly had the apocalypse.
the force is already unleashed though, so it's a matter of would it even have let them get away?
Uh, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, when Ash finally decides to hightail it, I mean, the bridge is taken out and the
Yeah.
river's flooded.
But then again, Ash, was not the brightest, not the sharpest tool in the shed. He just sort of, you know, he waited way too long. It's always I don't know. It's like this guy. He looks at like the brother, like he wants to kill him every 3 seconds, and everything. But everything's his fault.
I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
For sure. I mean, man, seriously, someone needs to like make this happen like on the big screen,
All right, word to
somehow.
the wise out there in our listening audience: when fleeing a place of horror and suddenly being confronted with something apparitionally in the middle of your pathway, you drive through it.
Exactly. Run the bitch over.
You don't veer off into.
I know. And then it's the fact like now it's like you're fine. You're in the car. Yeah, there's probably some water in the car or whatever, but don't get out of the car. Oh, the car won't start when it's half underwater. I wonder why. She still remembers to get her purse, though.
I would imagine this was just a little bit nerve wracking for her as an actress, not knowing how deep that was. And
Will has just sent us a message that says, if y'all still recording, I just got on Messenger to say y'all suck. Oh, man.
Will is definitely being missed right now. Do you think he would have
Yeah.
agreed to switch over to black and white?
Uh, yeah, I think he would have.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that much. Oh, this looks so much better.
It really does. I mean, it's surprising, just, making it black and white. Yep. The funny thing is, like, with this scene, it's obviously, harkening back to, like, the tree rape scene in the original, but I don't know. This just feels more, I want to say almost like more mean-spirited. And I don't know why it feels more mean-spirited.
I think some of it might be music, the score,
Could be. Yeah.
because this definitely is ratcheted up. It's more heightened. It's more.
Yeah. Oh. And that's one thing you can definitely see, like the kind of like the J horror influences.
Now, see, I'm starting to wonder how does the original Evil Dead in '81 look with the way we've done it.
Hmm. I don't know. I guess maybe it's the fact that that goes completely up there that makes it seem more mean-spirited than just like a stick.
Oh, she is definitely possessed now.
Oh yeah. I have to admit, I'm glad that they named the character Mia, that they didn't name her like Ashley or something, because that would have been the easy choice. I'm glad they didn't do that. Coming up, I have to admit, is one of my favorite scenes in this movie. Just the part where, the brother goes into the room and she's like, you know, there's something out there and now it's in here with us. Yeah, but you're not a doctor now, are you, stupid cow? I'm doing exactly what they do in a hospital. Yeah, with trained doctors and not some like wannabe nurse.
See, that's why I think this entire drug metaphor thing is just so clumsy. It's just it allows for too many moments like this.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You just look. You strip away the prologue. You strip away the drug metaphor thing. You shoot this thing at 16 millimeter, and man, it's a nutty film, man. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking. I mean, they used 70,000 gallons of blood in this movie,
Yeah.
which most of it we see towards the end.
Yeah. I
But
love this scene. It's just see, she looks genuinely terrified.
yeah,
Out of here.
yeah, this might be one of her better moments here in the film.
Yeah. Something in the woods. And I think it's in here with us now. It's just like, oh man.
See, with moments like this, it just makes you wonder how much of the rest of the film matches this moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is definitely like a high watermark for, at least for her as an actress. You know, I mean, hell, this scene alone would get her work in just about anything. Oh, and that's so much creepier in black
Yeah,
and white.
it is.
Dude, that actually sent a shiver up my spine right there. And now this jackass here, like, I'll finish translating the book. Moron. I do have to admit, I dig how essentially everything that happens in the movie is either foreshadowed or, directly shown in this book. Like, what a douchebag. It's like, come on. Yeah, live with it. He moved on. He got on with his life. That's what life is. Says the guy who, like, single-handedly nearly caused, like, the demonic apocalypse of Earth. Man, how many garbage bags would you need for all those dead cats? You need more than just the one that he's carrying out. There's like 4 in there maximum.
Yeah.
This was also a scene which was like kind of I I want to say it was like put in just for shock value.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. I I think it. I think they really think the tension is continually building upward, and this only sort of increases the fact that well, we're gonna see she is a very very dangerous person right now,
Yeah.
but we don't ever really see her act
No, and I mean,
in that way. I mean, we have this idea that she's done this, and I think it might have been in this case. I think it might have been better to actually have seen her do it.
well, it would
That
have
could have been
definitely, yeah, it would have definitely made,
that could have been messed up, man.
yeah.
People would have hated this movie because of it.
Oh, definitely. My reckoning is always like, yeah, because the thing is, let's be honest, how could she have done it?
Oh,
She,
well, okay, we have that flash of a moment. Well, that's him imagining.
yeah,
But if we would have actually had a scene played out where she did, oh my, that could have been done so freaking wildly.
yeah. This is a pretty good scene as well, I got to admit. Yeah, it's just the sort of thing. When was she alone long enough to have, killed the dog? The only time she's been alone really is like when she took off with the car, But then they went and caught her. Well, found her or whatever. And she wasn't anywhere near the cabin.
Oh, that's amazing. This shot's. Oh, this is amazing.
Yeah. And
Oh.
Yeah, at this point it should be, yeah, let's get her to the hospital. Well, at least they're trying to take her. Oh man, the froth and everything. It's like, damn. It's one thing though. You notice though they never bring the dog up again.
Yeah, and that's that. Now, see, that is something that should have been played upon somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now you're getting it. That everything is, everything is in the book.
Yeah, it's not letting you go, buddy. You ain't going
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah, what I wonder though is if they'd at the beginning, like when she first said like, take me home or whatever, would it have let them go because she wasn't possessed at that point? Is the reason it's stopping them now because she's possessed? I gave her sedatives. She should be out for a couple hours.
Oh, now it's serious.
Yeah.
Now we have problems. Oh, guess what, guys? It's my fault. That's got to be coming up here. Hey, guys, red flag.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with the drugs.
Everything is gonna be fine. Yes.
Yes,
Hold,
and she started reading. Oh my god!
I know, you just want to smack this guy in the head.
Like, dude, seriously, take some ownership here.
Yeah. Like, this is literally all your fault. Oh, that looks great. You know it's good when we're not saying anything.
Yeah,
Mm.
I was just thinking how much more effective maybe it would have been if somebody actually would have died in this scene instead of
Yeah.
her brother only taking a shoulder wound.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that reminds me. In the extended cut,
Yeah,
you know the scene. It's in the trailer. It was in the original as well. The whole like "we're gonna get you"
right, right,
part
right.
thing. That is actually in the extended cut.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh
Oh, yeah, that can't taste too good.
no! It's like get your ass down there. We don't need you here.
Oh, no, she looked pretty creepy just standing down there.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, tell him. Tell him.
hmm Yeah. Realize it's all your fault. This is impossible. It's just like the book. That's when like, give her another shot. She's like, you think I'm gonna go down there and give her a shot? I don't think so. I've got to get the shrapnel out of my arm. David, listen to me.
You think so? I mean,
Finally.
this is this.
Yeah, I think maybe you need a shot of that, girl.
Nice.
Yeah. I think kind of that exploding glass was a little iffy.
See, when we're given imagery like this, and there's certain scenes in this movie that have yet to, even well with her as this unfolds, there it's moments like this, man. I'm like, oh, I wish the director, and maybe he does, but I wish the director had an innate love for Fulci to the point where he says, you know what? Here's my moment, my tribute to Fulci. I'm just gonna draw this out and make you watch.
Yeah.
And you do
This
it's to a point, but I mean,
that scene there, where she pisses herself. It's
yeah.
like that's one of those. It's just one of those like real moments. Where in a situation like this, maybe you would piss yourself.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure being possessed, your body would lose function of just about most things.
Yeah. When I was in the theater, when he walked over there, someone shouted out, "Sniff it!" I thought that was kind of funny. I don't know why they thought he'd sniff it, but I'm gonna say no. She's not okay.
This scene will be interesting in black and white.
Yeah. Oh, hell, this shot alone is awesome in black and white. Oh, wow.
I'm so glad we did this.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and it's just she's there sawing away, and you know it's not good what she's doing. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, oh.
Oh. And that's one of those things that just looks so painful. That looks more painful than the mouth cut. Oh, and
Now, yeah, I
this.
have to admit, this scene kind of gets me, boy, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh. And I mean, it's the fact also that it goes like through the glasses as well.
oh.
Oh, man. That has to be a Fulci love letter right there.
Oh, this looks so freaking good.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The funny thing is, at least he has the right idea. I've always said in movies like this, you're being attacked, beat their head with something until it turns to meat sauce. Don't stop until it's over and done with. I love that they took him out to the shed, it looks like, to do this. It's like, work shed. Here, hold that. We got some duct tape over here. He's all like, "Don't be a pussy." I love that. I did something terrible. It's like, duh. Man, that just totally made me think of like, you know that meme, like he needs some milk. He's like he needs some water and sugar. Go get it. I have to admit that's one thing though that I don't want to say annoys me, but the fact that like the book in this has like your like generic satanic symbolism in it, like it's got the the inverted pentagrams and everything in it. I preferred, in the original how it was more like old godish. It seemed like something more ancient.
More rooted in alchemy.
Yeah, and like not so much like, oh, like it's a devil.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yeah, they're demons and everything, but there's something different. Yeah. Um, Not a smart idea. Like now is the time to use like a Molotov cocktail and just throw it down there and run. My leg hurts. It's like, yeah. That tends to be what happens when you get thrown down into cellars or whatever. That's one thing I wish that they'd kept in. I wish they'd had like, you know, an evil in the basement that was already
You
there.
know, you know what could have worked. I was just thinking about this. How much I'm missing Henrietta right now.
Yeah.
Um, had they just buried that girl in the cellar and left her,
Oh, yeah, that would have been awesome.
that could have helped tie the prologue into the film
Yeah.
a little bit more. I mean, I know, well, you don't blow her head off. You burn her up and you bury her,
It would
and
have worked so good.
and yeah, oh yeah, and you build up a height of tension of what something else going on, and in the midst of that tension, man, she just comes crawling out of the cellar, man.
Oh yeah. And I
That
mean,
would have been so awesome.
and you could at that point you could have even just blown her head off with a shotgun at that point, but it would have given you that creepy build up and everything. Oh man, this is going to be good in black and white.
Oh God, oh yeah. Oh, this is harder to watch now in black and white than it is in color.
Yeah. Get back, you. It's like, no. I have uses for that. Give me.
Spreading the disease.
Yeah. I remember in the theater, everyone groaned. Oh, damn, that's hard to watch even now.
Oh, see now this is where it looks practical.
Yeah.
In that super glossy, slick, digitally shot,
Yeah.
it almost comes across as CGI, and it's not.
Yeah.
But here it really does bring it back down to base level, and it looks so much better.
Yeah. I just wish she'd come up and been like, your sister's fucking crazy.
Now, see,
Yeah, I mean, that's
you know,
just pure Exorcist.
now see, to match your point about the introduction of more traditional satanic bait, like she just said, she's
Yeah,
burning in hell. You know, had perhaps when she's crawling up the staircase and this girl just happened to have been wearing a cross, she
yeah,
would have been, compelled to withdraw into the darkness of the cellar.
yeah,
You could have been playing off those forces against one another. Instead, there is no other side to balance. I mean, there's nothing to balance because there is no other
no,
side. These kids are just, caught up in this
mm,
without any real recourse,
yeah.
you know, except for a freaking car battery at the end. Oh, we'll get to that. Funniest meme at the time,
Mm,
funniest one was the well, the thing that Zach said about him starting up reviving a cat with a car battery. You remember that?
yeah, yeah.
Oh my god! The first time he said that was pretty funny.
Yeah. It's like they refer to evil entity. And I mean, okay, why does it have
What, what,
a candle on its head?
yeah,
See, I wish that had been something they would have worked into it more. Like when like the thing at the end appears or whatever, maybe like it had like a light shining out of its head or something, that would have worked. Yeah, this scene here, for example, it lingers on in the extended cut. It like lingers on scenes like this more. Instead of cutting away. So like there, there'd be more holding the hand and like pushing on it and stuff. Oh.
that looks so much better. All that. Oh my lord.
Yeah. This is insane, damn it. You just gotta love that, like, now, all of a sudden he's, like, an expert. Where, like, 10 minutes ago he was like, oh, she's high. I think we're gonna have to kill her. Like, no.
It just seems like today, I don't know. It just films never directionally seem to take the steps that you almost wish they would.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the imagery of the girl impaled on the stake, and you think about um, um, Cannibal Holocaust
Oh, yeah.
and certain images that last forever. And there are times when they could do these things, and they just never seem to.
Yeah.
It's like they flirt more than anything today. They flirt with images and imagery, but they never do that one thing that just leaves you aghast.
Yeah. Probably the only thing you could say that even tried was maybe a Serbian film. Maybe.
Oh.
It's like the thing is, maybe it's just me, but this arm comes off way too easy. I would think the bone would be a bit harder to cut through than what one of these could do. Don't do it. Oh, that's like body horror at like kind of its best right there.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh! That is so much more worse than black and white.
it is. It really
Oh,
is.
oh, oh, oh.
I think the thing is when you get all like the splashes of red and everything, it becomes almost cartoony.
Yes. Well,
Where in this, it's just, don't worry, I'm better now. I fixed it.
oh.
Oh,
Yes, yes, folks, we are really watching Evil Dead remake, and yes, you're hearing these responses.
yeah.
Oh my God, you gotta. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. When I first saw this, I thought like, is he gonna duct tape her arm back on? Okay, I love that.
Nothing
I, lo-
better
I
than when Ash is looking into the mirror, man, and his
oh yeah,
reflection is like, "Fine,
yeah. We just cut up our girlfriend with a chainsaw. Does that
would that
sound
be
fine?
fine?" Ah,
And that's what I like. The throwbacks in this are, they're not like on the nose blatant things. They're just like little words and every now and then little sentences which just bodily dismemberment. I mean, you could have still wore those glasses. They just have holes in them now. You didn't have to hold them. Not sure. Like, of course not. It's like, yeah, if anything, there was a time, if anywhere there was a time to say, like, yes, yes, she will be. That was the time. Yeah, what doctor is going to be able to help that?
no,
Yes, well, unlike somebody,
I just don't want to clean up after you.
yeah. Why don't you just run away and I'll get stapled to a wall or something?
Uh oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh. I always kind of laugh because that's not how nail guns work, but it's just such an awesome scene.
Yeah.
I forgive it.
I almost kind of wish this guy right here. What is Eric? I wish Eric started screaming like the uh, the 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 Red Rabbit in Zombies Halloween, man. When
Oh yeah,
dude comes out of that room with his arm busted, man, and just starts screaming like a whiny girl.
yeah.
But it's so freaking terrifying to listen to him.
Your friend has a lot more nails in than that, and you're complaining about 3.
It's gonna be great, man. She was just like on the freaking ceiling.
That would be awesome. Just kind of like looking down, like, oh hi. Oh, that's a good shot. And she's going all
Oh,
Joker on his ass.
oh.
Yeah, this scene always reminded me of Death in the Family, the Batman story where Joker kills Robin with a crowbar. It's got the same type of brutality. I love it.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
oh.
And you're not the metal Terminator coming back either.
No, no, you are not. I don't think duct tape's gonna fix that either.
Uh, oh, that liquid Terminator, man.
Yep.
That stuff's just pouring.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I know it. The black and white makes it worse. Why are you hurting me? It's like, well, I'd worry more about like the nails in your head and the missing arms and. Yes, that tends to be what happens when you put nails in it. Like here, you're gonna be fine. I mean, dude's like in the midst of dying and he's still kind of being a bit of a jerk.
Now here's
Oh,
where I wish he would have turned into an evil Ed man and just popped up in the air and just
yeah,
started spouting some crazy crap, man.
yeah. But I mean, I guess that's the thing, we don't have anything like that, do
No,
we?
it's it's Raimi's love of the Three Stooges, his love for the old just that old time horror, but way overboard, but in a sense that it takes itself so freaking serious.
Yeah. I
He,
just
he,
don't want to become the devil's bitch. That's a great line. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. Now you stay out here.
oh, that nice shot. I'll say this, man. In the Grudge remake, man, the scene when the girls after the she goes realizes that the lady's killed her husband and she's hacking up her own fingers.
Oh yeah,
That was a moment that was pretty tense, man.
it was, and I mean, you just see it in like she's like eating her own fingers. Also, it's like ugh.
Okay, dude, drop a match and walk, man.
It would have been the smart thing to do.
the if something would have been up there in that Raptor, oh man, that would have been
Yeah, I
great.
mean, even if it was just you just saw something moving around, and it was never really played out what it was. You just see something moving in the shadows. That would have been awesome. And you could have made it her arm that she cut off.
Can't do it, can you, buddy?
I love that somebody thought though to put those big eye holes on the door so that they could chain it shut. Chainsaw battery, no. He's all like, I got a plan. That's a great shot. That looks like something
Yeah.
out of like Frankenstein or something.
Nice.
And of course, it doesn't work.
Love it, man. Just the use of the flashlight and the dark like that with the black and white, just
Yeah.
everything looks so much better.
And that was great how it just showed the box cutter and then it was gone. The thing is, this basement can't be that big, but it feels enormous. It's almost creepier that he's in like, ankle deep water in a basement.
Now, see, I see this imagery and I think of Anthropophagus, man, when that girl comes flying up out of that vat
Yo,
of wine or whatever that was.
yeah, 100%. Oh, dude, that works so well in black and white. Yeah, and you can definitely see like the J horror influences as well. With the use of water and everything. Do you think he could actually even use those hands at this point?
No.
I mean, he's got nails through one arm, the other one's all smashed up with a whatever. And now he's drooling. I missed you, man. Man, the black and white just works. It really does. Damn. It's like I'm watching a whole different movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, look, like you can see like this. I don't know if you'd call it smoke or steam coming through from that other room, or dust, or I don't know. I just kind of wanted him to step on him and just be like, "Get down
Oh, man. Almost had that cellar in the Blair Witch Project.
there." Oh, yeah, definitely had that feel. Of this, like, I'll put you in your best dress, and then I'll bury you alive. Well, I mean, it's probably the only solution that doesn't involve, like, 100% killing the person.
God, that's amazing.
It is.
It
It
just
really is.
texturally, just it just.
Well, at least she's safe from the coronavirus. Got a bag on her head, so she's fine. Maybe it's just me, but yeah. I would have thought he would have thrown, like, dirt on her face first. That would have been like the first thing he did.
So, so the point is, she dies. He brings her up.
And officially, I guess she died. So
So then she's like unpossessed.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is, like, he's like broken the possession at this point, and now he's gonna bring her back. I mean, it makes a type of sense. And like I said, unlike all the other ones, like, he didn't set her on fire, he didn't chop her up or anything. So this has the highest chance of survival. Yeah, I don't think you could do that with a car battery.
Is that good?
Yeah. I mean, you got to be some kind of, like, mechanical genius to make that work. Could have at least taken the bag off her head first. Cheap Chinese batteries. Yes, notice that there's no longer a burn on her face. It's like, come on, guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you're at peace because I said so.
I like how that flashlight goes on, like foreshadowing it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better.
Yeah. Think how ballsy it would have been to have actually ended the movie like this. To have actually killed off the main heroine.
I can't remember at this point. What's the point of going back in the house?
I think to get, isn't it to get the car key? Yeah, car keys.
Well,
You'd
okay,
think,
now
he'd have had those in his pocket to begin with, but
I like how she has the shoes on now. She kind of looks like the way she does in the poster art.
Yeah.
See, that's how I wish the movie would have ended. I wish the movie would have ended like that poster with her just walking down one of these, dirt roads or whatever.
Yeah. See, this is what happens when you get nostalgic. You get stabbed in the neck. I just wish he'd been like, damn it, Eric. You've ruined everything else, now you've ruined this too. Yeah. I think she changed her tune pretty quickly there. It's like, I'm not going to go anywhere. It's like, no, you're going. And she's like, okay.
You know how to say though at this point, one of the character transitions that I do like though is the transition that she goes through from here
Yeah.
on out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and let's be honest, it makes sense, doesn't it?
And she was not really that enjoyable to watch in most of the movie, but now she starts to become really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. I find it funny, though, that she's no longer suffering from withdrawal.
See, in real life, if you shoot a gas can like that, does it really ignite like that?
No, it doesn't. They always say, like, if you if you stick a match into gasoline, it won't necessarily go up. It's the fumes that catch.
Huh.
So I think with it would have splattered all over the place, and then maybe if he'd taken a second shot, maybe it would have all gone up.
I,
But
I'll tell you though, the scaredest I've ever been though, I got really stupid once and went to throw some gas on a bonfire from the gas can, and I could tell the flame had left the fire and was traveling up the stream of gas
ooh, yeah,
towards the can, and I flung it away as fast as I could, and it never like went into the can or anything like that, but it was like, yeah, I didn't do that again.
yeah. You see, what would be really cool if right now color started fading in, and then the end of it was in color. Did you ever see that the cut of Lady Vengeance that does that?
No.
It starts off uh, in the entire movie is pretty much in black and white if I remember right, and then as it goes into color, or the other way around, or it's black and white, it's color, then it goes into black and white, but it like a gradual fade. Because this scene, with like all the blood and everything, is, though honestly, it's still working. It's still working in black and white really well.
See, yeah, I mean, you, I mean, we know it's raining blood because we've seen it and everything,
Yeah,
but in a way, without having seen it, you still kind of know it is just because of how her face looks now.
I always wonder this, like, is this supposed?
Oh,
Is that creature supposed to be like her possessed self?
yeah, I wonder. I probably.
I know it's supposed to be like the abomination they talk about in the book or whatever, but I don't know. It's like machete or chainsaw.
See, why
Oh,
couldn't it could have worked, man. If she would have just looked up and went, chainsaw.
oh, that yeah, that would have
That'd
been
be great.
sweet.
It could work. Those things can work, man. You just gotta
You just have to,
deliver the line right, man.
yeah,
Even if you have to shoot the dang thing 80 times, I mean, it can happen.
yeah.
See, right there, nice.
Yeah,
See, this really, really does start to become her movie right now.
yeah,
We don't get enough of her in this movie like this. This is fun stuff, man. Homage to the original, man.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, get the chainsaw revved up. This reminds me of Friday 5. Oh, it's how slow it comes back that time.
How about City of the Living Dead, man, when the pickaxe comes through the coffin?
Oh yeah, it's like
I've had about enough of this freaking crap. Let's go to war.
yeah,
She never really has a line, does she?
no, yeah, because this is what I wonder when you see the creature, it's not female, but it's not male either. It's kind of like
See, how great would it
nothing.
have been, man, if she would have just stood right up, man, and just, all right, she bitch, and just went at it, man.
That would have been good. I find it funny, she's trying to start this chainsaw under there, like totally letting it know exactly
Oh,
where she's. Oh, that was great.
dang, this thing's strong.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is the part that always kind of gets me. I mean, the fact that, unlike Ash, who cut his hand off with a chainsaw, she has to pull it off through sheer, like, force.
so that's where, in part, man, this really does, I mean, become her movie.
Yeah. Oh, just grab it. Oh,
Oh,
it's just how you see it stretch. It's like,
oh,
oh. That's what I always expect. I always expect in that scene to hear that, in The Thing, when the Norris's chest opens up and clamps on the doctor's arms. That sound the arms make when
yeah.
they pull off, like the bloop. I kind of expected to hear that here. It would have been cool. Oh, that's
Oh, it looks
awesome.
like so much better.
It really does, damn. And it's like, you gotta love that. You gotta love the fact that it's not just, like chopped off the head with a chainsaw. It's not a fact of, stuck a chainsaw through them. It's they stuck it through the mouth.
Was that an animatronic?
I
That little piece of face there with the eye still moving?
I would assume so. I mean, well, I would hope so. I don't I don't know how they could have done it elsewise, like
Yeah,
otherwise.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah. I love that it sinks.
God, I love how this looks. This is so.
Yeah. I almost wish that like the door got kicked down and the brother was still alive. It wouldn't work. I mean, plot wise and everything, but it would have been just kind of like a feel good moment.
Yeah.
And I think after this, she kind of deserves a feel good
I
moment.
think, yeah, and that's where we're getting to I think my final. I guess it's not a major criticism, but there's a lot of hype, with this movie coming out. The idea of how much of a cameo role would Bruce Campbell have,
Yeah.
and all he ends up getting is really sort of disappointing, man. I mean, she deserved that. Could have been a great moment in the end, a great feel good moment if I mean, think of a scene like this, man. Suddenly, you want to do your homage to Rami in the right way, man. You suddenly
Yeah.
have this time warp thing open up, man. Bruce Campbell suddenly comes out and goes, "Quit your whimpering. We got work to do."
Oh,
Boom.
yeah. That would have been awesome. Or honestly, I mean, let's be easy. The easiest way they could have done a cameo is you've seen the alternate ending, right?
Of
Of this where she gets like picked up by like a hitchhiker or she's hitchhiking or
no,
whatever, and oh yeah, like she gets to a road or whatever, and someone picks her up and she's in the back seat of a car and like she opens her eyes or something. You could have just done it that it was Bruce Campbell's character, and he would have been like damn, like again, kind of like how many times do I have to deal with this crap?
yeah,
I like these credits though.
yeah.
It's not actually showing anything, but what it is showing is just kind of works.
I am really surprised they did. Oh, excuse me, work out a cooler end cameo for him, other than what they do. It's just I don't
Yeah,
know why even bother doing anything at that point.
I think it's purely you know it's purely fan service, and they just kind of well, I think didn't Bruce Campbell have some kind of like producer credit or something on this, or like associate producer or something? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Yeah, so maybe they probably thought we're making an Evil Dead movie. Bruce Campbell is somewhat connected to it. We have to have him in at least once. I'd have had him like on like a radio or something as like a radio host. Just do a voice cameo.
Or yeah, or I tell you, even if they would have found a reel to reel in the basement, and it would have been actually his voice narrating.
Oh, that would have been cool. That would have worked perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hell, you could even do it like he's like I'm leaving this as a warning or whatever. Like, don't read this or whatever. This,
Yeah.
but then being Ash should be like, this is what it says, and then he reads it
Yes.
because that's totally something Ash would do. You know that.
It is.
Whatever you do, don't read the book. It says, and then he goes, and then he'd quote it, and it'd be like, really, man.
Well,
That would
maybe
totally have been
not
Ash.
every syllable.
Yeah, I get a few of them wrong. Yeah, this is just like this is a movie whose heart is in the right place,
Yeah, definitely.
and you can tell. You
Well,
know,
you're bringing back Tappert and Raimi, and I mean, you could tell there's love poured into this. It's just, I think the thing that really does hurt it the most aesthetically is just being shot digitally, and it's super slick, glossy. It
yeah,
really does betray the practical effects. I mean, it almost gives them a a really sort of, I don't know, a CGI feel when they're not. And I think we've seen those practical effects really come to life just via this black and
Yeah.
white um, format.
Yeah. I love that they actually put in the fake Shemps like category in the credits. You know, I love that even to that extent they're still paying homage.
Oh, here you go. Here's an homage to the reel to reel.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever traveled this far into the credits.
Yeah.
See, and here's another question. I mean, this thing is Weta does the effects. It's shot in New Zealand, in part at least.
Mm.
I wonder what this movie would have been like if it would have been more of a New Zealand film.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, you
definitely.
you just think of early Peter Jackson, and
Oh yeah.
just the um, whatever you're watching, Housebound or
Yeah.
these movies have their particular New Zealand feel, and this really doesn't feel like a New Zealand film at all, although it's shot there, and
Yeah.
Weta does, you know,
It feels like America.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it really does. I wonder what it would have been like if this would just been, a New Zealand film. I mean, how crazy would that have been?
Yeah. It's a shame they couldn't put something in that little warning at the end. You know, sometimes they put something in like, this is you know, no connection to people living dead, like or undead or something. You know, they should have done that. And here we go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bruce Campbell just did his little cameo. For those of you who
yeah,
are actually watching the film, as we should have said that more often, like a real commentary, huh?